Hey, I'm Soph, and this is everything I eat in a day. So the first thing I do when I wake up in the morning, so a few things. Sometimes when I first wake up in the morning, first thing I do is go pee, like full transparency. Second thing is I wake up per my alarm on my phone, which means I'm scrolling through my phone. I'm not weird about admitting it. It happens. I don't eat first thing in the morning, typically. Sometimes there'll be like a rogue day where I wake up flippin' starving, but that doesn't happen all the time. In fact, it's extraordinarily rare. Normally, I'll have some green juice. If I do have a green juice, it's like a cucumber, celery, lettuce, it's one of those general ones. I never understood the whole only celery thing. Like, why would you only drink celery juice when you could drink like celery, Swiss chard, jalapeno, green apple, lime juice, right? I mean, I don't know. That's just how I feel about it. So sometimes I have a green juice. Sometimes I'll just have like a grapefruit or an apple, but I really don't get hungry until later into the day. I am a tea drinker, tea all the way. However, I like coffee when I'm traveling. I don't know what that is, but when I'm traveling, sign me up for a coffee. I was in Portugal for almost a month and I had coffee like every single day. And it was so weird because I came back to US and I was like, it doesn't really make sense, but I love tea, all kinds of tea. My favorite tea, Earl Grey, splash of some kind of milk, I really don't care. And just a little stevia, oh my God, it's like my dessert. I could drink it all day. In fact, I do drink it all day. Also love herbal teas, love a little marshmallow root, good for the bladder. But then I'm right into my computer and doing whatever emails. If it's a series of recipes I'm testing, if it's, something for my book, if it's photos I need to take, I'm kind of doing that stuff first thing in the morning. I'd say around 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, I'm starting to kind of get a little bit hungry. So that's when I head into the fridge and just see like what is going on in there. I love to cook, and also any opportunity to test a recipe, I'm gonna take it. So say I've got, some pickles, some tomatoes, some romaine lettuce. Like, I'm just the queen of just throwing some stuff together. I love to use teas to actually make rice. So I love rice, lentils, quinoa, things like that. I love to take some ginger tea or some coconut tea and make some rice with the tea instead of water. If you want to infuse flavor, that's a great way to do it. Then I'll maybe stir fry some broccoli and some green beans, have it with that rice, and before you know it, you just have this like delicious sort of tea tinged rice with a yummy stir fry situation. And I usually eat that around 11, and that's pretty good. I love sauces. I love to make sauces. Sauces are my heart. Honestly, my middle name, it's Sauce. Sophia Sauce Roe. I kind of like that. It's got a ring to it. Saucy Sophia Roe. Ooh, even better. Sometimes it's some little coconut aminos, a little grapeseed, rice wine vinegar, ginger. Bam, love it. Love a little bit of like fish sauce situation with a little bit of a tamari. Love a mirin. I love anything saucy. Miso, Dijon mustard, emulsification. It's amazing. I love sauce. So that is my lunch, anywhere from 11 to 12, almost every day. I'm really consistent with my eating. Like, once I get into a groove with something, that's kind of like the vibe. I do try and find time to work out, especially, here we are still in the middle of a pandemic, quarantine situation. A lot of it looks like me with a 20-pound kettlebell. You wanna know a killer workout I did one time, and I've started doing this once a week. Okay. Are you ready for this? Okay, so basically it goes, every hour on the hour that you're awake, you do 100 squats. So if you're awake for 12 hours, you do the math. That's 1,200 squats, baby. Your legs are gonna be burning. You are gonna be a newborn Bambi for the next 3 days. I mean, it works. Seriously, try it. So a lot of times I'm in my house. I go out to the farmer's market once a week, and I just grab my list of things that I need to test or need to work on, or videos I need to shoot, or etc. I typically have to take 3 different trains to get to my farmer's market because I live in an area of New York. I live in Bed-Stuy, East New York. I live in an area of New York that doesn't have a farmer's market, which really bothers me. So, food equity, etc. Those are the things I care about. Separate conversation, but you should know we're working really hard to get a farmer's market, a good, big, juicy farmer's market in my neighborhood. But until such time, I take 3 trains to get to the big farmer's market in the city. And that's some exercise. That's about 5,000 steps. I try my hardest to get 5 to 10,000 steps a day, even if that means I'm going outside with a mask and, you know, working out that way. You know, I used to travel a lot. I used to be in LA at least once a month. I do a big solo trip for Christmas every single year. Last year, I took myself to Mexico by myself for 3 weeks. It was incredible. I did a whole road trip. I drove all over Mexico. It was amazing. Oh, my favorite food city? Oh my goodness. What is my favorite foods? I love New Orleans. It's probably one of my favorite cities just in general in the United States. What a great food city. I love New Orleans. Chicago is another incredible food city, just amazing food city. Mexico, incredible food country. Japan also. My grandmother was Japanese, so I feel there's a cultural tie there for me. Japan does no wrong for me, neither does Mexico. Those are like my 2 fave countries. However, I was in South Africa, I went to Botswana, I was in Swazi for a little while. Wow. Also incredible food happening in Africa. So honestly, just take me anywhere and I will find the great food. Like it's my job. I'm pretty easy to please. I don't do any dairy. I don't eat any dairy or any land animals. However, if I'm traveling, say I'm in Mexico and all that's available are dairy and land animals, then I'm eating them. That's it. Like not everybody in the world has the luxury or the privilege to be able to choose what they eat. So I'm extremely flexible. If I can go somewhere and I can get just simple fish or just simple salad, that's what I'm opting for. However, if all there is popcorn and French fries, then we're having popcorn and French fries and we're extremely happy about it. I am an insane snacker. It's insane. I have a snacking issue. In fact, my name might be Sophia the Saucy Snacking Roe. Whether it's a smoothie, a flippin' acai bowl, get out of town. If you even say acai, if I even see the color purple, it's a problem. I need an acai bowl. I actually need an acai bowl right now. In fact, after I finish this, I'm getting an acai bowl. So I just want you to know that. My favorite snack is a bowl of the butteriest. I'm talking if you put the stick of butter on the popcorn, I'm gonna need another stick. So pre-COVID, what I would do was I would take myself to go see a movie that I wasn't even interested in just so that I could have 2 bowls of buttered popcorn. I just need you to understand my extraordinary love for popcorn. It really exceeds me. You know what I'm saying? Like my love for popcorn will exist even after I no longer do. Do you understand? It's extraordinary. If it's not popcorn just covered in butter, it's just plates upon plates of French fries. I don't care if they're sweet potato. I don't care if they're regular potato. I don't care if they're zucchini. I don't care if it's squash. If it is a strip of something that has been fried in oil, you could sign me up. Do you know what I'm saying? Some people like the pizza or the taco or I just want the fried potato stick something. That's what I need. That's my cheat meal. That's what works for me. That's what I'm interested in, you know? I don't really do cheat meals. I don't really like that term because then it proposes that everything else that I ate was like extremely good. I don't really believe food is intrinsically good or bad. So on the weekends, I'm eating a lot of what I'm eating during the week. I'm very consistent. I cook all the time. And so because I cook all the time, I think I'm always just sort of like, just by proxy, just eating a lot. You know what I'm not crazy about? The only food that I can think of that I just could really easily say I hate, lima beans. That's about it. Every other thing I could get down with. Even though I don't eat land animals, even though I don't eat dairy, I can confirm that a burger is delicious. Same with cheese. I don't eat cheese, but man, cheese is tasty. I am not someone who gets hangry. I don't get hangry. Sometimes what will happen is I'll look at my phone or I'll see what time it is and my brain will be like, yo, so. Girl, you need to eat. You haven't eaten since 10 o'clock. I'm not one of those people that can go too long because I'm always very mindful of time. I think I'm mindful of time. I think that's the chef in me. Because listen, a lot of people will tell you, time isn't real. Time is an illusion. Let me tell you something. Time is real AF when you're baking a cake, okay? So don't tell me time isn't real, because when you're cooking, time is very real. I usually eat dinner 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. That's typically my takeout. Typically do the takeout. I love to get the takeout ramen. Another thing, there's a restaurant in my neighborhood called Saragina, and they just do vegetables right. They just do it right. Also, Le Antagoniste is another restaurant in my neighborhood, French restaurant. They just do it right. I'm really simple. I just most of the time it's just all veggies, but if I'm eating it out, I'm probably just gonna have like fish and a salad, right? It's so boring. I know it's so boring, but I just have to be mindful of palate fatigue. I cook a lot, and when you're making a lot of different stuff all the time, you really just want simple. I really just want arugula, lemon, salt, pepper, olive oil. It's a party, nothing else. And then there are times, you guys, where I eat an entire pint container of olives. It's true. I'll eat an entire pint container of olives at dinner time, and then I'll eat an entire box of crackers. I fully admit how not healthy that is, but I also admit that that's just the way that it goes. I'd say about once a month, there's a day where I just eat an entire pint container of green olives and crackers and popcorn. So my beverage of choice at dinner, if it's wine, it's a Beaujolais, a Gamay, something from the Loire Valley, something like that. Not to sound like too snobby-ish, but that's just my preference. I love a younger sort of wine. But a lot of times at dinner, I'm just drinking water. I know that's boring AF. Sometimes I do a weird chai tea at night. I actually shouldn't say chai tea because that's just like saying tea. But sometimes I do like a black tea, a chai moment, and it, just gives me a little caffeine because I know that I'm gonna be working. Like say I'm writing recipes all night, or say I have something sort of activist driven that I need to work on. After dinner, I'll have a chai, oat milk, plenty of black tea vibes, like good amount of caffeine, and I'll stay up until 12 or 1 until I get what I need to get finished. If I want to do an after dinner tea and I don't want to stay up, then I'll make it an herbal tea. So something with marshmallow root, or something with a little turmeric or ginger, just a little sleepy time lavender tea also is really nice. My favorite foods to make are foods that require a tender palate. I know a lot of times in America, it's all about like boom and bam and wow and spice and salt and savory and in your face, and I love that. I think that's so awesome. But for me, my favorite sort of foods to make are foods that honor the subtleties of a palate. So I love making things that really require tenderness and really require a lot of subtle, nuanced flavor. I love creating soups and broths and things that take a lot of time. I love sourcing really great quality ingredients. Those are the things that I really enjoy making. And that's everything I eat today. You can check me out on Instagram. My handle is @Sophia_Roe.